All right, here's the deal. Everyone got bills to pay, including myself. So we're going into a thrift store right now. Salvation Army, looking for rare, expensive, valuable items. I'm gonna go in there and show you everything I see and comment on it too. So you're gonna get a master class in how to make money selling what others may call garbage. Let's go. I am going in on a Thursday. At this Salvation Army, Fridays are half off. So what some people do is they leave the good stuff on Thursdays until Friday when they can get it half off. I'm hoping I can take their finds or the things that were maybe left on the shelves and buy those. I might pay a little bit more, but the things I'm looking for are worth so much, paying $2 more is not a big deal.
If you've been a regular viewer of the channel, you know that I like electronics. They are good, they are easy to ship, and they're easy to test. I've been here a lot the past few weeks, and so most of the stuff is picked over, but these VCRs down here, these are new. I'm going to leave the DVD VCR combos on the shelf. I'm going to take one off the shelf, but I put it back on. You just don't see it on camera because they want like 30 bucks for it. And I'll wait till the half off day, which is not tomorrow. It is in weeks. They really are taxing up here. What happens is someone goes in, they buy all the stuff, and then the people who are pricing it think, oh man, this stuff's so valuable. It really isn't. To see the price on our end, we are taking the model number and looking it up on eBay or Amazon. I sell on Amazon. I'm going to get a bit more money for these than I would on eBay. I'll get about 85 bucks for each of those VCRs. On eBay, they'd go for about 60 bucks. Why is there this difference? Because on Amazon, you can guarantee one-day shipping, and it just seems like, well, if you're a buyer, it seems a lot more professional than someone just throwing a VCR on their couch and taking a picture. I'm going to put these in my cart, look them up, and then I'm going to go over to the electronics. They're like handheld electronics, calculators, bedside clocks, some kitchen appliances as well. Generally, I'm going to get a few things here, a few things there, then I'll go over to books and DVDs, and I'll do toys, and then I'll be out. Just a quick in and out. These are the clocks I was telling you about. I'm looking for Sony, Panasonic, Samsung, Timex, anything with a big screen, anything that is especially loud, stuff that differentiates these models from the million other bedside clocks you've seen in your life. There's a quick tip about selling anything that has that white plastic color. You might see that it loses its coloration, or I guess technically coloration is added to it and they become kind of yellow from their normally pristine white color. That is due to heat exposure. People think it's from cigarette smoke. It could be, I guess, but these plastic items are flame retardant, and the flame retardant chemical makes them turn yellow as they're exposed to UV radiation, or heat for that matter. So I'm looking in here. That clock might be good, but I think it's missing a power cord. If it's a standard 6-volt cord, that's no big deal, but sometimes they have weird 8.5-volt cords that are harder to replace. This Roku, a little too old to be worth my time. This Dymo printer, if it was a bigger one, those go for like 75 bucks. The small handheld ones go for about 15 bucks on Amazon. There was an emergency clock that you saw next to the label maker. It was red. I ended up buying that. This is a projector. It looks like a cheap private label one from China, so I'm not going to buy that one because it's not going to sell. And then, no, I thought that might have been a Bose radio. Bose has kind of similar design clock radios, but that is not a Bose. Time for golf clubs. I love golf clubs. We're looking for Nike, Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, Ping, brands like that. I don't see any brands. Maybe down here, that's a good one that they hid away, and it's a King Cobra iron. If they had a full set of these, I'd have bought a set of King Cobra irons. There's only one, and having one iron, if it's like a Titleist or a Ping or whatever, it's better, but a brand like that, not really a in-demand brand, it's kind of hard to sell. To video games and DVDs. They sell DVDs here for 50 cents and video games for $2.99. That means I'm probably going to only find good DVDs. The video games get picked over, but here, Race with the Devil, one of those. It's an older, discontinued, out-of-print movie, and it's selling for, boom, $32 on Amazon. Now, getting ungated for DVDs is kind of a chore, but you can do it. I have videos on that. And these are all the DVDs I bought. I'm paying 50 cents a piece for a lot of these. They are, many of them are new in box Blu-rays. sealed DVDs, great ones, and a lot of them are not sealed, but still they are worth it, like these BBC ones, oftentimes BBC or CBC, the Canadian Broadcast Channel. Their original programming sells for a lot of money in the United States, so if you see those box sets, I would encourage you to at least look them up. Gotta say, a lot of these DVDs are good ones too. They're selling for between $10 and $35. Reality Bites is a discontinued title with Ben Stiller and Ethan Hawke, so you know it's going to sell for a lot of money because they both have pretty big fan bases. And now this. Now, you may have heard the stories about someone finding the Declaration of Independence in a thrift store, and you say, oh man, mine might have one too. I gotta go there and buy all the old shit they have on the walls. This is not a real piece of history. How can you tell? It is obviously printed on some crinkled up paper. If the ink isn't bleeding, if it's just printed on there, it's fake. Finally, on to toys. This new in box Wiggling Penguin toy. I'm going to buy this, even though I probably shouldn't. I can't find a listing on Amazon, but I know this time of year it's going to move on eBay for about 35 bucks. This puzzle is new in box. Now, I don't buy puzzles unless they're new in box, because how else would you know that they're complete? This is going to sell for $75. I am not lying to you. New puzzles that are out of print sell for a lot of money. Onto the toys. This paleo table book is not a toy, but it's in the toy section, which makes me think that someone who works here was taking things that they want and putting them in the toy section with the hopes that they're going to get looked over by most people. I'm not going to look them over. I'm going to find them all. I'm going to look them all up. And that SpongeBob DVD there confirms it. That's not a toy by any stretch of the imagination. Someone put it there, and they're just waiting until tomorrow to buy it. I ended up looking them up, and they're both worth like $8 a piece, so I'm not going to buy them. I'll let them have this on their little treasure trove that they put on top of the metal racks, on top of the clothes that are on top of the ground, I suppose. This book also was worthless. Kind of finding duds here. It looks like, hey, wait a minute, that Ernie toy. I had this plush doll when I was a little kid. This thing is old. This is one of the first toys I remember having. So even though it may not be a big winner, I don't know, I'm going to buy it just for nostalgic reasons. I would hate to see that get thrown away. And so if I can sell it to somebody who will give it to their kid and their kid will appreciate it the way I appreciated it, why wouldn't I do that? I'm willing to take the risk on a smaller profit. Ew, wait a minute. Did you just see that? Underneath the DVDs is another brother label, a maker, and this one's bigger. The ones I said earlier sell for like 75 bucks. That's the one that sells for like 75 bucks. On Amazon, at least. On eBay, I have no clue. But on Amazon, you can sell this for a decent amount of money. Now, I guess the caveat is that Brother is a gated brand, but once you get ungated for it, you can begin to profit on stuff like that. That's pretty neat, too. A Fruit Gushers, it's just so low quality. It's like a shoe bag, but it's a 1 out of 10 quality. If it was like cooler, or if it was the kind of thing that looks like someone took more than 15 seconds to design, I would have bought it. What I wouldn't have bought is this fake Carhartt. Now I'm going to show you how I know it's fake in a second. Everything else we're going to go through. We're looking for like Patagonia. We're looking for Tumi. We're looking for whatever the Peruvian word for llama is. It's like catapoxy. We're looking for that. I didn't say it right. These are like Targus brands. These are like just generic duffel bags that they want, that they're selling for $19, and they want, you know, and what we'd get nothing for them. So here's the Carhartt. Here's how I know it's fake. Not that label. That label isn't that bad, actually. But this tag right here looks super fake. It's not even completely stitched. The lettering isn't. This is not how Carhartt shoulder straps look. And then on the inside of the bag, there's a little sticker that says Element Duffel Bag, made in China. Looks super, super sketchy. And also, Element is the name of a series of Tumi bags. And so I think that this person was trying to fake American fancy bags, and they knew so little about the context and the concept and everything to do with it that they just made what equates to nonsense. I'm just gonna quick go through these clothes on a rack they just pulled out. That Chesterfield vintage flannel's worth like 20 bucks. Some of these sweaters are okay. There's a Boston Traders 100% wool sweater you're gonna see in a second. That's worth maybe like 20 bucks. I'm not gonna buy either of these. That just sounds like a pain in the ass to sell. I'm going to keep looking through this, trying to find anything that I think can sell for like 50 bucks or more. And oh, this actually might be it. It's a vintage Ferris State athletic jacket, made in USA. I'd say circa 1960s. This stuff sells. Ferris State is a college in northern Michigan. They have a good PGM program. That's golf turf management. Maybe I'll get lucky and some rich graduate tending the greens at Augusta will buy this jacket for me on eBay for lots and lots of money. This jacket I'm looking at now, the orange and black one, I could not find any identifying tags. I think it's just like a generic hunting jacket. I like it, but it's, you know, how could I sell it if I don't know what it is? Let's go through the figurine. That's a West Coast chopper. No clue what that is. Ashtray maybe. Now these are called bare feet figurines. They are a D or C grade figurine. If I bought them all and I sold them all as a lot, I could probably get like 40 bucks for them, and it might take like 6 months to sell. Those are not the kind of numbers and timeline that I'm looking for. They are kind of neat. This one's a handmade one, not part of the set, but not what I'm looking to sell. Now, if I could sell the figurine set for $1,000, oh, absolutely I would buy it, but it's just not the way this game goes. Here's everything I bought. There's 2 VCRs, a stack of DVDs, some new in-box toys. All in all, I spent $70, and I think I did okay.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. I should get about $170, I figure, on the 2 VCRs. I should get about $130 on all of the DVDs and video games, and then about 200 bucks profit on the remaining new in-box items, the handheld clock, the little tiny things. Those are going to add up. So 500 bucks profit off of my $70 investment, and I would say by Christmas for sure, they're all going to sell. But if this were February, I would estimate that my time of sale, or the time it takes to sell, would be probably 2.5 months. Well, guys, that's the video. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, yeah. Don't be a shithead.